Goldies, my name is Courtney and welcome to my channel. I am Courtney Noel. If you are new to this channel, welcome. And if you are an oldie but a Goldie, hey girl, hey boy, hey, welcome back to this channel. We cover nursing, fashion, lifestyle, and travel, and sometimes real estate, honey. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stay tuned. If you are a Goldie, you already know that if you see me with the scrubs and the stethoscope, this is going to be a nurse related video. And today we are going to talk about trusting your nurse gut. I know that's something that they talk about in nursing school, like your nursing intuition, your nurse gut, but I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper and hopefully validate and help you develop that confidence in trusting your nurse gut. So if you like a new nurse and you like, girl, I don't even have a nurse gut. If you like an old nurse and you like older, seasoned, I hate to say older, so seasoned nurse, and you like, girl, that nurse gut that saved me. Or if you are just plain on nosy, go ahead and stay tuned to this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and ring my bell. Ring my bell. My bell. Ring-a-ling-a-ling. Ring my bell so you can stay notified of my weekly videos. Alright guys, so let's talk about our nurse guts. Listen, I'm not gonna even lie, I don't like to talk about gut because girl, I do not want a gut, period, pool. Like, I just want a flat stomach. But when it comes to nursing guts, you need one, okay? It will save you a lot in a lot of different situations. And I first heard about a nurse gut when I was in nursing school, and they used to call it nurse intuition. Some teachers will call it nurse gut, but it's basically like you've learned the things that you need to know in school, you've done the clinicals, and you have some experience, and something happens and you have an intuition or a gut feeling like, that's not really right. You have to learn how to trust your nurse gut. And sometimes trusting that nurse gut requires you to do more. So I would say if you are a newer nurse and you like, yo, I have like these feelings where I'm like, should I or shouldn't I? Like my gut is like nudging me to do a certain thing. I would say number one, if it is something that is by the book, like per the policy of your facility, then you should definitely do it. But if it's something that you are just like, maybe it's an extra step, maybe you're on the fence about it, consult a nurse that has more experience or your resource. So maybe you have a nurse educator, maybe you're a charge nurse, or a more seasoned nurse, and say, hey, what do you think about this? I think that is such a big thing in nurses, whether you're a newer nurse or a more seasoned nurse. Being able to ask other nurses their opinion will save you a lot, will help you really treat your patients holistically, and it also makes you a prudent nurse because nobody knows everything and we all need to rely on different resources. I still do that today in my position, and I'm 12 years in this thing, and I'd be like, you know what, this don't sound right. Like, what do you think about this? And I'll ask my colleagues or different people that I trust their opinion, and I trust their nurse gut as well. Listen, the nurse gut can require you sometimes to do things that you may feel like is like an extra step. So for instance, maybe you got a patient and you like, you know what, he acting funny, like something wrong with him, and I cannot put my finger on it. So my gut is telling me either I need to check his O2 sat or I need to check his sugar because he acting a little off. And right now you probably got a whole bunch of patients that things that you need to do. You might have to give meds. You probably need to call the doctor, do some things, call the doctor to get an order for Tylenol, whatever the case may be. Things that are priorities, but they are not. Your nurse gut is telling you like this is a higher priority. Trust that gut because it can save you a lot. And I just, like for instance, you check the patient and they have a blood sugar of like 30 and you're like, oh, that's why. So now you can intervene. But see, if you didn't trust your gut and you didn't move on that instinct and you just kind of went on with the movements of your job, the ebbs and flows of your day, that patient is at risk, and when you could have caught it early because you trusted your nursing gut. And listen, I'm telling you, it's better to listen to your gut and take those extra steps or regret it in the back end, because if you got a little inkling like something not right, like I should dig deeper, and you don't, and something's not right, baby, that's your patient. You're gonna have to be accounted for that, whatever that may be. It may not be big, it may just be like a small misstep, but we are playing, we are not like playing games. These are like people's lives, you know. So you have to very much be astute. You have to be prudent. You have to be very assertive, very much in tune with what's going on. And I know that it's hard to do, especially when you have a lot of patients or a lot of, you know, tasks that you have to do. But you are going to have to listen to your nurse gut in order to really be an effective nurse. And that's in my opinion. So let me give you a scenario for me. Now, of course, if you don't know, I've been a nurse for 12 years. I have a range from experience from med-surg tele, emergency room, PACU recovery, most recently case management. I did the bulk of my nursing career in PACU recovery, and I have a lot of, actually, truth be told, I did hospice nurse the longest. I did hospice nurse since I was a new nurse all the way up until probably about 9 years ago. Well, yeah, for about 9 years, so like 2018-ish. Anywho, but anyway, in the PACU that I trained in, I trained at a trauma center, and we also recovered C-sections, L&D patients. And that was a new thing that got started when I, you know, as I was there. So we had to all, of course, there was a learning curve. We had to learn how to recover those patients, blah, 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 blah. So one of the reasons why they send those patients to us post C-section is because we need to monitor for the firming of the fundus, no hemorrhaging, and then the revival of the dermatomes for where you get the fillings back in your legs from the spinal epidural. Okay, cool. I remember, never forget, it was one morning because I worked nights at a certain point. And I had this lady, and I'm like, we do fundal massages every 15 minutes and like to excrete all the lochia. And so I was checking this one lady, and I'm like, you know what? I expect some clots, but she was just throwing a little bit too much for me. Like, it was just, my gut was like, nah. And her fundus was like, it was a little firm. It wasn't boggy, but it was like a little So I was like, man, I called my cook. I was like, feel her fundus. And she like did it, and you know, it was a little bit more clots coming out there, which we expect, but it was just something in my gut. I'm like, something ain't right here. So, you know, of course I'm doing my vitals. She's still holding tight, but I'm just like, So you know what I did? I got on the phone. I was like, let me call the real professionals, baby, because you know, I think I'm having a little, my gut is telling me something's not right. So let me just explore that a little more. So I called the L&D nurse, and they're required, if we as the PACU nurses are saying, yeah, you know, we did what we could do, but we need an extra set of eyes, they're required to come and assess our patients, because the goal is, number one, we need to make sure these patients don't hemorrhage post-operatively. So she comes in and she checks the lady, and she rubs her fundus. Big clot comes out, and it's just like pouring out after that, blah, 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 blood pouring. I'm like, oh my Lord. They had to bring out the card, the OB heme card. They had to take her back. It was just like a downward spiral, but it because I was so adamant, so because I was like, I just don't, it's something in my gut is telling me this is not right, is why I pursued it and kept taking it to the next level and getting more opinions until I was reaffirmed, or until we really saw what the real issue was. And in that case, that was a big deal. That right there potentially helped save this woman's life, or saved her a lot of issues later on. And that is a role of a nurse, is to be astute, to be in tune, to be adamant, to be an advocate for your patients. So this is why it's so important to not get consumed with the task and the ebbs and flows of your day, but to trust your nurse gut. And if you feel like something is off, 9 times out of 10 it is off, and you need to explore that thought and that feeling. So that is my spiel for today. If you like these type of videos, go ahead and comment below. Let me know if you want me to talk about anything else, nurse related, fashion related, whatever, child. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, honey. We are on the road to 5K subscribers. Your girl here, 4K. Thank you so much. And with that being said, as always, I love you, but God, He loves you so much more. God bless you.